have played Nuke 6 times. They've won it 4 and lost it twice, but it's against a much lower caliber of opponent. You got to look at the names here. Gosu, 5 power. They played them 3 times on this map, winning it twice, losing it once. They beat a team called BTRG Imba, and obviously lost to Vitality, which you alluded to before. It's going to be a fast approach this time round towards the outer yard. It's simple electronic. Bang, bang. And then quickly take down Kaze over towards Heaven, and Advent, as you pointed out, has some Julies.
Yeah, not every day that you see them in this server. Let's see if he's going to show us, you know, some... he's not. Never mind, he's dead. But
it was the thought that counts, right?
Yeah,
Look at Simple. He's on mole mode.
He's just charging it. He does not care at this point in time. It's Freeman in a 1v5. Not happening. Edward deletes him. Na'Vi, very convincing start here. And the duelie's retrieved.
So they did have a strat in mind, right? Because there was utility. You can still see it in the hands of Flamey right now. He has a smoke and a Molotov left. He hasn't actually brought anything into this round. So they did have a set piece. They did have a strategy. They did have some kind of a maneuver in mind. They didn't actually have to do it because they just killed everybody. But another thing to note was they dropped 2 P250s. Edward and Simple had 1, so they wanted to go outside and take duels. That was part of it, right? Obviously, go with Glocks. You can't play as slowly. You can't posture for fights in the same way. When you have the P250, you level that playing field, as it does appear to be another fast round towards the outer yard. Smoke wall, the standard style, to allow the passage towards lower. There's your full eco right now from ViCi, so we expect little to no resistance from them. And that's probably just the way Na'Vi like it, so they can start establishing a little bit of calm in their camp. Everyone's just going to be dead. There's not a lot to say against the USPs, right?
Well, yeah, I think, you know, for Na'Vi, the main thing is just keeping it clean, not allowing ViCi to do what they were pretty good at across both maps, which is, you know, find a bit more than they should with these pistols. Instead, they keep 5 alive, another flawless round, so they go back-to-back. And now there is the buy available for ViCi. Now, they won't have the AWP on Kaze. We can't see one bought out either over on the side of Na'Vi.
Just to note, though, with this, Harry, because they've gone for the 3rd round buy, they're susceptible to a top rush, to a very fast top play, because they don't have the Molotovs to stop the Squeaky and Hut. It won't be that kind of a play right now coming out from Na'Vi. They're actually going to feign the top rush. They're nade open Squeaky. They're using utility, but they want to... That's a massive gap right there in their smoke wall. Something's gone abysmally wrong there. I don't know if there was a Molotov deployed. We didn't actually quite catch it. It may have come in, and that's why the smoke's in the wrong position. But it doesn't really matter because Electronic's been able to make it to secret anyway. Flamey has full squeaky door control here. It does appear they want to go for a bit of a lower split. So, something to note about Flamey's position, he controls the players that rotate through that vent. A lot of people think, oh, he's just lurking lobby. No, he's actually an indicator for how many players are filtering through that position. Never mind. The Orcs doing some damage towards the outer yard. And now it does just leave Edward and Zeus, the 2 veterans of the squad, with 4 to find. Lots of time on the clock. Oh!
They have left the bomb, though. So all this ground that they're getting, it's all well and good. They still have to go back to get that. And Zeus, you know, while he had aggressed down through secret, he now does turn back and goes ahead and picks it up. Edward going to be setting up down here in Hell. Looking like they, well, they could wrap to either bomb site right now. He's going to start to clear ramp room, and Zeus now heading in through secret. So this is going to be the B play. Advent, he's already gone aggressive into radio, so as he starts to wrap round, he might just catch the timing to find Edward. And you can see Zoking's cleared all the way through outside. Oh, and Edward going to miss that free kill. Now Zeus is able to pick it up and does dispatch the lone man inside of the bomb site. Advent tries to barrel in to deny that bomb plant, and it was planted so open. But he just arrives a little bit late.
Oh.
Edward not quite able to remove him. Advent finds them both. DP is going to come in. So ViCi, they will secure their first buy round.
Edward's going to be disappointed with himself there. 2 kills fluffed in that situation that could have really helped, and allowing to give some more room for Zeus to work with. Obviously, the first one on the player whose tail was just sticking out from behind on top of the silo in the lower site. And then that kill there on ramp would have given himself a one-on-one situation more than winnable. I would say he would have had a very good shot at converting that one, all things considered. But no dramas right now if you are in the Na'Vi camp, as you can get that buy on the board. Electronic will even get himself a Krieg, AWP for Simple. The first one of map number 3 coming out here. If you missed it earlier, ViCi destroyed Na'Vi on the opener of Inferno, and then Na'Vi did the same back to them on their map choice of Train, and now we've made it all the way onto Nuke. With Nuke being the unknown, I suppose, because of the lack of top-tier opponents that ViCi Gaming have had a chance of playing on it. We're kind of learning as we go. If you look at their statistics, ZoKing is one of the, or is the lowest rated player for ViCi on this map, and he was their best player on Inferno. So it's going to be curious to see how this all pans out, as once again the opening will fall in the favor of the Chinese. You would have had that with an AK. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not a big Krieg fan,
I don't like it either. I don't like the noise it makes.
No, yeah, everything about it feels like quite dissatisfying. I don't even like the way it looks.
It is ugly.
The AUG, meanwhile.
It's sexy.
Yeah, that's a nice gun.
Yeah. I'd take the AUG out.
Yeah?
Why not?
I mean, well, I probably shouldn't say that. Never mind. Edward and Zeus and Simple left standing. 3 on at 5. They've got a lot of work to do. But Edward creeping on over here towards Hal. The timing couldn't be worse. Freeman was there. Now, Zeus, the leading one, not quite ready for ZoKing. This leaves Simple. 1v3 required. The bomb dropped down at his feet. Shot onto ZoKing, and the wraparound for Freeman up in heaven was enough to seal their fate. 2-2. ViCi picking up another.
We might have a chance, Harry, here. Talk a little about your favorite map, Vertigo.
Yeah?
So, a map like Nuke, at least historically when I used to play it, and I would say somewhat on this map too, you can pull out double AWPs in certain situations on the CT side. On the T side, it's very difficult to seek out those jewels. So it's not a AWP-dependent map by any means. Do you feel that Vertigo is going to fall into that category? Well, this is a top rush. I love that.
I mean... okay, yeah, this round isn't going to transpire or anything. I just wanted to see, you know, if it looked
Just
like Na'Vi could have found anything.
Yeah,
but,
I'm with you.
Yeah, Vertigo, yeah, you definitely don't need the AWP, especially T-side, right? CT side, it's pretty good, especially at watching the A-bomb site or for dueling at ramp. And that's the only place you can really use it on the T side. You know, you can try and take a fast duel at ramp. You could try and play mid with it. The A ramp position's probably pretty decent for the AWP, but yeah, it's definitely not one that you depend on. I think that's just because B rushes are so viable, right? And you don't really need the AWP to try and get you in, and it's not that great even in the post plant because it's a very confined bomb site, right? The only place that I feel like the AWP is going to see like an astonishing amount of, you know, really come in handy, come into its own is going to be the long angle from like CT spawn over at A all the way down to ramp, because it's just a huge portion of the map you can boost up into. But yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't feel like a map where you need an AWP. There'll be certain players, I think, that the closer engagements will actually lend itself to quite well.
Sure.
But I don't think it's going to be for everyone.
Sure. That's what I was thinking as well. I don't think it's going to be an AWP-heavy map by any means, which isn't a bad thing, you know? Everything should be a little bit different from time to time. It's going to be cool to see how Vertigo plays on out. I, for one, am very excited. Not a big fan of the money changes, but...
yeah, I wanted to wait a bit longer before I really like...
My brain's not in the right place to have this discussion anyway.
No, that's that's fair enough. Well, Na'Vi setting up once again. I do have Electronic outside, but the rest of the gang...
Okay. We didn't quite see the angle that Kaze was able to pick him up on there, but it must have been a sliver of Electronic just being shown behind the red box. So once again, we did see this as a problem for Na'Vi on Inferno. If you remember back, if you were with us at the start of this Ukrainian versus Chinese battle, you would have witnessed a lot of scenarios going down where Na'Vi would lose the opening kill and not have any opportunity to trade. Now, if those similar signs trickle through here onto Nuke, we might be finding ourselves in a little bit of trouble. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, there's a big kill from Zeus. They've just cracked open that bomb site, but ZoKing, that linchpin, it was on the A bomb side, and Inferno has done the same over here towards Nuke. 2 massive frags. Flamey unable to cover Edward to get that bomb down, so now there's 37 seconds left on the clock. Wants to make his way down the vent. He knows one player's up, lad up. The other was over towards main, and the tag team duo with the assist coming in favor of Kaze there. We'll put the fourth round on the board for ViCi to the 2 of Na'Vi, who will be opting to take a tactical time out.
And so one of the things that I always see, Chad, is you know, usually when you take a look at this ViCi squad, there'll be like Kaze and Freeman left standing.
Sure.
And I've always wondered, right, when you have like your kind of more obvious star players, is it better to use them to crack open rounds, or is it better to have them, you know, available if you need them later on kind of situation, right? Because I don't know, it feels like it can't just be coincidence that it's ViCi and that it's Freeman and Kaze being the two to survive. I don't know if that's because they're positioning, you know, like.
It all really depends. I know this seems like a bit of a cop-out answer,
No,
but
I mean,
like
I
there's
figured it
certain
would be.
situations where, you know, they can be the opening factor, and they don't really always dictate that, especially on the CT side, right? People might come in your direction, right? On the T side, if you don't have any playmakers in terms of people to crack things open, then you want your stars to kind of feel things out at their own pace and go for those opening kills. So it's in between. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just a matter of how you feel your way into a game. There's certain players who will just throw themselves to die as an entry fragger to allow their stars to trade off of them. But there are others who can do the entry fragging all on their own. So now we've gone for a mix buy here. We've got a UMP for Edward, Electronic has a CZ with Simple, Flamey, a Deagle, and a P250 in the hands of Zeus. They'll do the smoke wall, they'll cross over to Secret. Now they've made the weapons they have in hand a lot more viable with these close range corridors.
Yeah, they're going to feel right at home down here towards B with just these pistols and SMGs. Right now, there's only Freeman inside of the bomb site, so potential for Na'Vi not only to get this bomb down, but to find themselves in a pretty decent situation in the post plant. Rotations are a reasonably long way out. Orman can look to come in through Secret. Zoking can try and drop down through the vents, but in terms of immediate resistance, Freeman is really the only man who has anything to say. If he can buy time, Kaze can rotate in onto ramp as well. So there can be bodies here. It all comes down to how much time can Freeman buy. He's only good for one before he's traded, so now that bomb can look to go down. And Kaze making his presence known over at ramp. Isn't able to find anything. Simple traded out in the vents. Bomb finally goes down for Na'Vi. One's already wrapped around behind though, and that's Electronic. One by one, Na'Vi getting pulled apart. Flamey brought down low, might get finished off here. Players all around, and that leaves Edward 1v3. Now he was phenomenal back on trade. Can he step up here? Damage done, but they're on the defuse and they're sticking it.
He's giving it up.
Yeah, I think he's anticipated it. Must maybe gotten off of it after finding that kill, but no. Gonna be ViCi securing yet another. So since the pistol and finding that one round on the back of it, Na'Vi haven't managed anything yet.
Gonna be curious to see if Edward holds on to the UMP or opts to upgrade here. You can see that he had, there we go, he's upgraded, and that's gone into the hands of Flamey, who's tossed it on as well. So nobody wants the UMP. That's what I was curious. If Na'Vi were going to bother when they knew that they were going into a full gun round, holding on to that, I guess, subpar weapon, especially on the T side, that's for sure. But they've all upgraded. We have the AKs. We have smokes landing towards the outer yard, and just the default spread of utility from the CTs towards Hut and Squeaky Door early. Edward's already dropped into main. This is a fast play. They wanted to split top, but Advent knows what's up. He's going to take down Edward, who was trying to get a little bit cheeky, and now it's Electronic's turn to try his luck. He'll do a bit of damage. He's going to chuck the nade through the gap. Is it going to land? Well, he didn't actually see if he made the shot through the hole, but all the frags are happening regardless. And right now we have a 2-on-2. The bomb site has given up. And as you mentioned, Kaze, one of those remaining members.
Yeah, he's up in the heavens with his AWP, but that Molotov will cut him off. So a chance now for Na'Vi to get this bomb down. It's Orman over here in Mini, waiting on the other side of that smoke. Here's that bomb going down, and I'll just have to wait for these smokes to dissipate before he even gets a look into this bomb site. Kaze naded down at 37 HP. They still haven't spotted Orman here in Mini, and oh, drop the first man. It's Electronic versus Orman. Bomb ticking down, and Orman's on the clock, but he's able to drop the last man at ViCi 6-2. Another retake over on this CT side prevails. And the one silver lining, I guess, for Na'Vi is as a result of getting the bomb down and having that loss bonus built up. Buying still not going to be a problem for them. They could have even looked to have bought the AWP out, but looking like they've decided against it here.
Yeah, it's a 5-round streak now, so they have guaranteed that loss bonus. And now any rounds they lose, ladies and gentlemen, with the new update change, they will start to bank $3,400 loss bonuses for if they get reset further down the line. So at this point, Na'Vi's half and weaponry should be looking pretty good for the rest of the game. So it's a Molotov being thrown quite consistently by the yard holder to block off this wall of smokes. Na'Vi need to adjust to this. They can't keep throwing the wall and hoping that it's all going to land swimmingly, because they're having to expend an extra piece of utility just to get secret control. It's not even to find a jewel. It's not even to find a frag. It's just to grab map territory, and they're having to... Oh, okay. Kaze just pushed ramp and took down Flamey. So, sucks to be Flamey, I guess.
Oh, yeah, it really does. I mean, almost as much as it must suck to be Electronic in this situation right now. I mean, he's been segregated from the rest of his team down here in secret. Simple. Dispatching of Orman has actually relieved some of the pressure towards outside and gives Na'Vi a bit of breathing room. So he's starting to make some noise over in Squeaky. He does at least keep the attention of ViCi at this A-bomb site for now. That bomb's rotated back and has rejoined up with Zeus. Still looking indecisive as to where this wants to end up, but it does look like it's going to be the A-side play. You've got 2 players in Squeaky. You have the push in through Mini, through outside if you would like. No one trying to wrap over and secure Heaven. Kaze actually has already cut this split in half as they lose the players towards outside. Zeus able to find a double, but Kaze's here. Zeus, oh my word, onto 3. He's got to grab the bomb, and he has to get this bomb down. And as he goes back for it, Freeman emerges, rears his ugly head once again. And that will be ViCi up 7-2.
I'm sure his mum thinks he's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's just the expression. Would have felt very odd if I said he raises his beautiful head once again.
You know it's April Fool's Day for soon, right?
For soon.
For soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what we're going to do like on April Fool's Day. I wonder what kind of gags we can get coming out. But I actually heard it's been cancelled.
What do you mean it's been cancelled?
Well, April Fool's has been cancelled because you can't get a bigger joke than Brexit.
That's a little sore on me there, Chad.
I'm also using a British passport, mate, so don't you worry about that one. Once again, the smoke wall. Okay, let's see if this time round they can manage to get the utility landing without the Molotov blocking it. And yes, indeed. All right, Electronic scuttling across. There's still a gap. I'm very curious as if that's intentional or not from Na'Vi. Have they just not bothered to learn the consistency of those smokes? Because the scoreline is 7-2 here. ViCi, we said whoever started CT side is probably going to win the game, and it's looking very good for them. Once again, another great start. And just aggression, just wild aggression. Last round, Kaze pushes ramps, kills Flamey. This time, Zerking pushes Squeaky, kills Edward. These 4v5 situations, Na'Vi are just, they can't do anything.
Oh, but there you go. Finally, they've been able to deal with Orman, and they've been able to reclaim that 4-on-4. Now, so much damage done onto Kaze and Zerking earlier on in this round. Makes you feel like Na'Vi are very much in the driving seat. There's Freeman isolated over at ramp. That's going to be Zeus to find him. Simple in the meantime, wrapping up into Heaven, and he's done so silently, so they've got no clue that he could be in this portion of the map just yet, although the longer he takes, the more they're going to start to suspect, with ramp room falling to Na'Vi control.
Oh, Advent's in a crazy position here. If he can just get maybe 2 kills, he's done a lion's share of work. They haven't even checked him. They didn't even spot him. He's going to take down Zeus. The bomb's dropped. Unable to get more done. Simple stays true on the AK. Electronic will find Kaze, and there it is. Finally, Na'Vi stabilized. And that all came from a bit of an over-rotation towards outside. Simple was over towards main, and a player was pushing towards those CT boxes, got caught in transition. And that was a very important piece of the puzzle. The reset.
So how big a brain of play would it be if you lost 7 rounds so that now you have the loss bonus banked up till the end of the game, even if you keep winning?
Yeah, well, that would completely ruin the spirit of a game which is designed for winning. I understand what you're saying. That would suck if that was a tactic, right? Like,
yeah,
throw
I know.
away
I mean,
7
that's
rounds.
one of the reasons why I think that some of the economy shows are like a bit weird.
Yeah, it rewards the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I think, and there's a couple of adjustments that I've spoken about. I think one of the things is make sure that the bonus doesn't keep building up, so you don't get that stockpile. You remove that. And I think for the CT sides, you completely remove the $1,400 loss bonus. You have a $1,900 loss bonus the whole time. Because the CTs, the M4 is more expensive.
They really do get like screwed in every way, you know. Like and the one thing they've got is like, you guys already have the bomb sites, but it's like, well, we never have money. So.
And another thing in that regard is as well, if the Ts only get the $1,400 loss bonus in certain situations, it'll encourage them to go for plants.
Yeah.
Because they get $800 if they're able to plant, even if they don't win the round. So they already have ways to generate income, whereas the CTs, you know, they out here, they on the street. They're doing their best, Harry. Don't you dare make a Cardi B joke.
Honestly, I wouldn't even know where to begin to make that joke, Chad. So it's fine, I won't. You don't have to worry about that. Bomb's going to go down here for Na'Vi. And Kaze, well, while he's been good, he's not quite able to overthrow Simple there towards outside. So a 4th round chain together. Money is plentiful here for one half of the teams, at least. ViCi, they're kind of at the real brunt of this reset that Na'Vi thrust onto them. It's going to be the eco here. You can see that Freeman is invested in a Mag 7. So we finally get to see some shotgun love.
Back-to-back shotgun love.
Oh yeah, over on the side of Na'Vi, we've got the Alligator board up, the one shotgun that wasn't buffed or had its price reduced. I always think that makes it a bit of a weird purchase now, even though it is a very good gun.
It can just clean up very quickly, you know, right? Like it has an opportunity to do a significant amount of damage in a very small period of time. Whereas you could probably make the argument for the shotgun in similar, other shotguns in similar scenarios, but the Alligator, especially on a map like Nuke, on the CT side more so than what Flamey's trying to use it for, is very
well,
deadly.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part. You don't really see it bought up every day on the T side.
No, the only times you would have maybe in the past, you know, JW taking drop zone on Cobblestone, for example. You've obviously got the likes of Snacks who used to drop in the vent with it all the time to get people who would chase him down in that position. There's very few applications for it on a wide spectrum.
Yeah, I always feel like I said, whenever you look at JW as like your example for using a weapon, it's always going to be off meta because he just loves to use stuff that no one else does. I think he still has the R8 equipped.
Did you see that? It's that round from Nitro the other day with he had the heavy machine gun board up.
Oh, the M249 or the
negative?
Yeah,
the M249. It was an accident, but he got a pretty sick 4K with it on the A-bomb site on Inferno. It was quite cool to see. Hold up. Kaze with the Diggle bullet in the side of the head of Electronic, can't miss at point-blank range. Shotgun's going to pop his head up the vent. It's going to be whack-a-mole. Edward says, no. You stay down there. And then maybe he said, bitch, but I don't know. So, the score now, 7-5 in favor of ViCi Gaming. That lead that they built, that absolutely promising scoreline at one point, has eviscerated.
Yeah, I get. I don't know if that's how you would.
I think I've used it in the wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right context to use it.
Dissipated?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, we'll go with dissipated. Anyway, now we've got a gun round on the board here. The only real, I guess, compromise being made right now is Advent on that UMP. Everybody else has got a decent weapon in hand, and Kaze even has the AWP. It's 5 AKs over on the side of things for Natus Vincia. As they always are throwing that top utility early. It's a great way to bait out and get the attention of that main player. Wall smokes again, and Electronic again gets peppered up.
Yeah, but this time he's able to secure the foothold in secret and not take too much damage, right? We've always seen him get there 20 HP or so it doesn't really feel like it's been all too worth it. This time around, he's able to get by relatively scot-free. Rest of Na'Vi going to be setting up outside of this A-bomb site. So I'm curious if we see them try and vent dive here because they have blown out the squeaky door. They do have a player over in secret. Feels like that might be the call, but Flamey checking close hut, starts to creep out. And I mean, they could just sneak down the vents at this point.
A lot of room, yeah. It is going to be heard though, so at least the noise cue will be a tell for ViCi Gaming, who Zerking has swapped over to that UMP from Advent, and he's going to get a kill and an upgrade. So this lobby aggression comes into play once more, and now they have to come into the blender. This player over towards Megaton, that's Freeman. He's going to get a kill on the railing as Orman pivoting as well, and this lower take has been stifled. Electronic last alive. He's going to fall. Now 8 on the board for ViCi. They've been able to stabilize here in a 10-5 half. Maybe it's par for the course, all things considered. Na'Vi have more than enough money to buy it right now, though, Harry. Have you been taking part in the HatredTV.org fantasy?
I haven't.
Really?
I haven't, no.
It's a good bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I know I probably should, Chad. It's just, I don't know. I don't really keep up with anything.
You don't have to, man. That's cool. You don't have to. No one makes you.
Well, no, yeah, but I mean, I always enjoy them. I remember when I've done a few in the past. I'm actually normally all right at them, but it's just because I make all the ridiculous picks, and then it's like,
seems like a
Harry move.
Eventually
they have to be right, and normally they are.
That's some terrible logic right there. Zera's like, I side on the side of going with statistics, and you know what makes as much sense as possible. Wait, I get it. You know, you make some random calls, you make some crazy moves, and maybe things pay off. Just like this for Na'Vi. They found 2 big openings in this round. They're currently sitting on a 3-on-5 situation. Never mind, a 3-on-3 situation as Advent and Zerking strike back. So what was looking good has quickly fallen apart.
Yeah, they still have this foothold towards outside, but they're struggling to do anything with it. The bomb going to start to head down here towards ramp, and that's on the back of Zeus. This is quite the foothold for them to grab, actually, as now it opens up this avenue down towards B. Zeus slowly but surely creeping on in. And right now, Na'Vi starting to wrap the remaining players in through secret. No one inside of this B-bomb site for ViCi. You can see Zoking started this rotation in through ramp. And actually, that might catch Zeus off guard. He just came from ramp. He believes his position is clear, so might not catch wind of this flank in time. Indeed, he won't. He gets completely blindsided there by Zoking, and that's the bomb dropped at that. He's into his second, so he's not content with dropping the bomb, getting the information, and potentially saving the round. He's looking to try and do it all on his own. It's simple, left standing, but if any man could clutch this one out in a 1v3, it is going to be him. Sindri down at the right side of ramp. Zoking still there. He taps on the bomb. Zoking doesn't actually peek out into this, and finally he will. Bomb goes down, but that's it for Na'Vi. 9-5. ViCi able to recover that round nicely, all on the back of Zoking.
Yeah, so as you can see there, with the plant and the loss bonus coming in, Na'Vi still with so much money in the bank here. For the last round of the game, they're not going to have any issues with the buy. Such a wild round, right? It started looking really good, and then it all fell apart very quickly. So we were talking about in the earlier stages of this game, ViCi doing a really good job at, I guess, incremental lobby aggression from different players. Karze and Zerking come to mind. In the last few pivotal rounds, Na'Vi have been able to find the opening kills, but here they haven't been able to convert. And I did talk about Zerking being statistically one of the lowest rated players, actually the lowest rated player for ViCi. He's having a great game right now. This looks like a set piece is kind of being lined on up. This could be a smoke over towards top of ladder. Coming out from Flamey here, or something of the sorts. Let's see where that one lands when we get a moment. But over on that A stream, before all the action goes down, we do have Fnatic versus NIP that just ended with James and Dan. 16-14 in favor of Fnatic. They'll pick up the best of 3 in the Swedish Derby.
Sorry, was it Fnatic you said?
Yeah, 16-14 on Mirage.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Well, now we're about to see which team ends up taking this map, or at least we should sometime soon. Last round of the first half underway. And outside control, the main focus for Na'Vi once again, only this time. Electronic, he's been tagged down so low. Just 4 HP to his name. Edward even going to get plucked from the ranks of Na'Vi by Karze. And now, maybe in desperation, they consider heading back towards Mini, deciding against it. Zeus continuing to creep on forward. So King going to emerge from Mini. My goodness, how could he even see Zeus there? Only Simple remains in the blink of an eye. He's lost all of his teammates, and he's got so much to do. Trying to bait the peak from Karze, but he's just got 12 points of health to his name. There should be absolutely no way for Simple here. Karze is alone, he's isolated, but he's still able to find this kill, and that will be ViCi taking the half 10-5.
He's quite happy there as well, having a big smile on his face, a bit of a giggle, as what looked like a commanding half from ViCi, something that could have ended in a 12-3, maybe even an 11-4 type scoreline. is a 10-5. Now, if you're Na'Vi, you're going to be pretty happy with that because we have noticed that both these teams do the lion's share of their work on the CT side. And a 5-round buffer for Na'Vi to work with might be more than enough. But it does come down to pistol, right? If they're able to grab the pistol, you can set up that CT wall. You build that economy quite quickly, quite swiftly. You get the utility in play, you start smoking, you start Molotoving out the key choke points. Edward and Flamey there just having a swig of water, getting themselves ready for the second half here as we should be underway momentarily. It's so cliche, but it all has to start with a strong beginning.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Well, one thing I will say, it does feel like ViCi kind of got wrecked by the new economy system, right? You think about it, they were able to go, what, 7-2 up? And then they lose one round. And because all the others have been so close, they're eco for the next
That's the
3.
reset, though, right? Because the reset now, the onus of the reset is always on the winning team.
Yeah.
Right? There was always reset potential for both teams before, but now the reset potential always falls on the winning team. The losing team, if they're down such a huge streak, can never be hard reset. And that, why do we want to prop up losers? We don't do that in life. And we shouldn't do that in Counter-Strike, because right now it is going to be quite a utility-heavy pistol round where Simple's going to kick things off. They have 3 players pivoting towards this yard position. And we'll just strike for the windows, CT spawn, and above over at the air conditioner. Oh, Orman pivoting there. It was actually Advent pivoting on the dime, but Orman in the backline's able to get a kill, and Edward and Simple chiming together. They've really stopped this one in its tracks. The bomb is down. Freeman in a 1-on-3. He is going to have a very tough time getting into this one, if having a chance at all for another kill. Edward showing back-to-back maps on why he used to be one of the most prolific players of the USP, especially in the days of 1.6. Google Na'Vi Edward versus, I think it's MTW. You seen it?
No.
You haven't seen Edward on Tuscan versus MTW.
No, I have not, Chad.
You got some homework tonight, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down to watch good Counter-Strike, so...
I want you to, when you get back to your room...
Yeah.
I think it's MTW. Maybe it's Fnatic. It's versus Fnatic. Yeah, not MTW. Anyway, Google it. Tuscan, Edward, Fnatic, pistol.
Wow. This round, just looking pretty cookie cutter, exactly as we would expect. Na'Vi able to keep 4 players alive. Only Karze left standing. You don't imagine he'll find anything, and he won't. So there we go, 7-10 lead. There is the buy available for ViCi in this round, and they could even elect to go for the AWP if they would like. It would be glass cannon, so the odds are you don't see him bring it out.
What if we start calling it Glannon?
Glannon?
Yeah.
Is that just because you Aussie guys love shortening words?
Yeah, how's that?
I mean, that's just the same length
it is.
as Harry.
We do like abbreviating things. I don't know why. It doesn't really make much sense. But second half has been quite a blistering pace early. Right now, ViCi will have the AKs out. They do have the weaponry advantage here, but not the utility advantage. So we have been talking about how poor their T-sides are. Let's see if that changes here on Nuke. They're not going for the standard smoke wall. They're not going for a top rush. They're going for a slower approach. And now their utility is being deployed. You can see it on the X-ray there. Landing to cover off anybody ascending down secret. But we can see by Electronic's position, he knows nobody's home. He can give that information to his team and they can keep 3 players towards top. Here comes the real attack.
When Flamey from a top height really had to step up and deliver the world, but instead he's not able to get anything done. It's ViCi getting this bomb down. The bonus round from Na'Vi gets completely shut down. Only Zeus remaining. He had a rifle, you know, you'd love for him to save because then you have a pretty comfortable buy into the next round, all things considered. There's an AWP up there, so he can look to grab that, and that's exactly what he's going to do. You're going to wait for the bomb to blow it to him. Doesn't have to expose himself.
No one should be exposing themselves. Keep it in your trousers.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty sad advice. I don't think I can give a hot take on that one.
Unless you're in a bathroom and not a public one.
Well, or you have to get it out at some point in the public bathroom.
Well, at the urinal, yes. But you're not doing it so that people can watch, are you?
If you just go to the public bathroom to piss yourself, it's a bit of a weird occasion, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if that's what floats your boat.
I was explaining to somebody recently about like urinal troughs, and they're like, "What do you mean? Like you just all walk up to a metal thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's like we're like cattle, I guess. It's pretty easy for us."
Yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to follow that one up.
That's just the case, isn't it? All right.
I'm not a big urinal fan. I'll be honest, man.
No, you're not a fan of any type of urinal.
No.
Okay.
No, man. Well, actually.
What's the splashback with urinals?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I was gonna say Hugo Byron. You know, try and insult him, but then it's like just sounds like I pee on him, which.
Oh, now we're getting into some weird, kinky stuff.
Yeah, let's just focus on the
11 to 7,
11
to 7. ViCi Gaming taking on Na'Vi right now. Backs against the wall. Nardus Vincere. They have to stabilize now as the Chinese squad could elevate themselves up to 12 rounds, and that would trickle forward into 13 and 14, considering the economic state early in this half. They've been able to grab control of the lower bomb site. Back fence taken. Decon taken. Window taken. Everything they need right now is utility will be deployed from the safety of the windows to make sure that they can get the bomb site control without too many hassles. And in the fray, Electronic will be taken down towards the yard position. A save call is what I would be going with right now if I was that of Na'Vi. Getting back into this lower bomb site, considering the amount of utility on ViCi, would be almost impossible. And they're thinking the same as me. Towards T-spawn they go. They've got their Nikes on, and they're running out of down. The save call is good because if they got wiped out and didn't win the round, going into next they would have to take a save, or they'd have to go for a force buy. But here they get a genuine chance to fight again. Someone's going to have to drop a gun across to Electronic. Maybe Edward can give him a pistol. Here you go, mate. Take this.
I mean, every little helps, right?
UMP could be on the board there if you really wanted to. FAMAS is 2250, but the FAMAS makes you go. Wah.
I tell you what, I've actually been using it, Chad.
Why?
As of late. And I'm kind of starting to like it.
All right, dude.
You whack that thing on burst fire.
Burst fire is terrible with it.
I know it is, but also it can be good, right? If you're an inaccurate bastard like I am, you just aim at the chest,
it's good.
And the bullets carry it upwards, and you hit the head by default.
So you're a fan of RNG?
No, I hate Renegades.
Hey.
No, I definitely
Me too, I always predict against them, right? So
you actually do.
This is the make or break round for this game right here. Because Na'Vi have held on to these weapons, this is what it all comes down to. They have to stop it here. Edward was kind enough to give his AUG to Electronic, and he's picked up the Mag 7. Now, this makes sense as he's playing a top position close towards Hut. Shotgun can act as a bit of a wall in that position. Advent is loading up his smokes and flashes, and so is Kaze. So this is the delayed top hit that we saw before. But will it be a vent dive? Will it be a variation? Or will they go for the same as usual as Flamey kicks things off? All the nades, flashes are out. Kaze pushes. He grabs an opening. Advent's going to trade out onto Flamey, and now the top side is open. Have to deal with Simple with the AWP. Stuck behind the bomb box, and all the kills now in favor of ViCi Gaming that have left Zeus last alive in a 1-on-3 situation. An unlikely clutch hero. Does he have it in him? Or will he even consider this as a round that he can win? Because I mentioned it, next round, their buy is going to be suboptimal.
Yeah, I mean, it really just feels like kind of pick your poison at this point if you're Zeus, right? Do you want to try and get the 1v3 and maybe have a chance of finding something? Or do you want to hold on to the AUG and then go for, I mean, really you look at it and feel like they could only go for a force in the next. You can elect to eco, but then you're staring down that barrel of what you imagine would be a 14-7 scoreline with the last buy in the tank to try and deny map and series point. I feel like they can get an okay buy. I mean, that said, the loss bonus is built up, so I'm curious to see how they approach this one. They can get 4 rifles, so...
Just barely, right?
Yeah.
Zeus can drop one across. He can get an AUG or an M4 on the board, and then you can see some others can go for the M4s. They will be just with Kevlar. They won't have a lot of utility, or we've already touched on this several times, they'd have to choose to go for the more compromised weapons to get the utility up. Now, this is where the game of chess or the rolling of the dice or the fact that you can look at this like a puzzle and you're trying to work out the next move. ViCi could go for a fast top play, assuming that there's not going to be too much utility to stop them, not too many protocol nades. And from what we could see just there haven't been that many Molotovs brought up on the side of Na'Vi. So a top rush could be possible, right? You bust open Squeaky with that HE, you get the bloody smoke into main, flashes are coming in behind the CT vent, you're coming out hot, you've got the pop flash, the adrenaline as you come up the ladder, be in their face. You can lock them out here. They only have 1 Molotov on Electronic, so they'd have to stand tall and hope that they don't get blind. Or, same as usual, take it slow, milk out their economy and play the percentages. It's the top rush. It's going to be the fast top play. Oh, they got me excited. They got me really excited. I just went for a tactical nuke into main to keep anybody out for a decent period of time, and the smoke wall will leave the question mark in Na'Vi's side of the court of, have they gone under? Have they taken lower control? And if they have, who are we going to rotate over there? It appears that one player of Na'Vi is already on the scene, and it is Flamey in the lower bomb site. Zeus towards top ladder. We've got Edward in warehouse, Electronic in main. Where is Simple? Oh, okay. Well, he can't do a lot from this position if they don't come to him. He's kind of screwed if they go anywhere else.
I tell you what, the XM10 are actually pretty surprisingly good at like mid-range. You know, so from ramp, definitely not completely out of the question to try and challenge. But I imagine if you're Na'Vi here, you just save.
Again, right?
Yeah, same situation. You've been able to keep 4 players alive. I guess that's the one benefit you could say to how they've been playing this B bomb site, right?
It's not a benefit if you lose the game.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right?
16-7.
So it's like right now, okay, yeah, allows you to hold a few weapons forward, but you can't keep, savings are well and good. Eventually, it has to lead to something, right?
Yeah.
And that's been the real problem. Despite holding all these weapons forward, they've always just been wrecked in the following round. So
it's almost been a battle of opening kills. It was 15-4 in the first map of Inferno in favor of ViCi. It was 15-7 on Train in favor of Na'Vi. And now if you look at the opening duels that have been going on, it's a little bit more spread, but in this T half, I would say it's been favoring ViCi. (14-7). This is do or die, really, isn't it? These saves can only get you so far.
Well, the craziest thing for me is that ViCi haven't really been doing, like, tactically, they haven't done anything out of this world, right? It has just been winning those initial aim duels, as you've kind of alluded towards, right? Because you look at, like, how they've been playing this, and a lot of the time it has just been these kind of flat executions in towards one of the bomb sites. They haven't been doing anything, like, spectacular. And this time it's just the A rush.
I love it.
They're already inside of this bomb site. They've dropped Zeus. The bomb can look to go down. Freeman's in with another.
It's over.
Everything's coming up ViCi. And yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like it should be, Chad. Bombs down. Na'Vi.
Pack your bags. You're going up to the hotel room, boys, because that pace change from ViCi was perfect. You could see there was only one responder on the side. That was Zeus. Everybody else got locked out by utility. Edward is going to need more than a miracle here to get back into this one. He does have a smoke, a flash, and a Molotov. The flash is going to be deployed behind the CT vent, so going to give himself an avenue to aggress. Molotov behind the bomb box. Not going to actually force anybody out here as they're able to dance, they're able to duck, and they're able to weave. And Edward almost was onto a kill there, but this is it. He's going to go down. Kaze finds the kill. 15 rounds on the board for ViCi Gaming right now, as an upset to start things off in the tournament for Na'Vi is definitely not unexpected at this stage anymore.
No, definitely not. One thing I do think it's worth mentioning, though, for Na'Vi is it's still been a strong performance from Edward, someone who we kind of said, isn't necessarily topping the charts on this map in the history. He's been keeping up that good form throughout today. One of the reoccurring top performers for Na'Vi. So I feel like that could bode well for them looking at the future if he's able to keep that up. But it's the fast play this time. Orman down through vents. No one else with him, so he's got a serious bit of territory early on.
Oh, he's not going to expect someone here this early, surely. Oh, the position's been given away. Electronic. They were warning shots, if anything, but that tells the Ts a lot more than it does the CTs, because Na'Vi already knew that Orman was down the vent. ViCi didn't know who was the first responder, who had rotated, and where they were. So at this point, look at this. Coming down secret, they know there's a player over towards that window side. They know they need to be wary of that. They're going to be on high alert when clearing that position. If Electronic gets more than one kill without being traded, he's going to have done fantastic work here.
Well, he does have a very, I was going to say decent angle to be holding, but he's actually given it up, falls back and drops that smoke. He gets one, but is that going to be enough? Freeman doubles down. He has been such a force of nature in these last few rounds. He opened up inside of the A bomb site with 3, I think it was in the round prior. This time around, it's 2 down in towards B. Na'Vi have just had no remedy for it. Here is Simple, and he finally has this AWP in hand. He's been topping the charts here on Nuke, and we need to see a